let's see. I'm assuming they just cut 4.5. Wait, they had to have cut. Did they not cut? That'd be crazy. I'm seeing 4.5. It should be a 4.25 to 4.5.
They did cut. Yep.
They did cut. Okay, they cut 25 basis
25
points.
basis points.
Okay,
Yep.
as expected. All right, that's fine. Yeah, it's weird because the CME watch tool shows like 4.25 to 4.5. It's that, that odd like 25 bips window. But anyway, okay, they cut as expected. All right.
Yep.
Market is, I've got SPY down. SPY's down about $1.60 or so right out of the gate. I think that, I don't know, I'm watching for that potential bounce off of like this week's lows, or the 603 to 602 level SPY, or that 600 level is really a key. Past resistance becomes support. We could have some, like, I don't know, just some initial reaction, and then the market Fed is notorious for that. We have this big reaction at 2 o'clock, and then the Powell move from 2:30 to 3 o'clock, or from 2:30 to 4 o'clock can completely come back and be a bounce.
1 hour later.
I wanted to show you guys this just as a quick reaction. I created a stock list called Retail Stocks, and these are some of the retail favorites: Hood, Celsius, Affirm, Coinbase, SoFi, MSTR, PayPal, Reddit, Palantir. Just a couple on my list. Following the Fed meeting, look at the bloodbath in some of the most popularized stocks here. Doesn't mean it's all over, but just the ones that rise the fastest, you got to be careful, because when high risk stuff gets pumped up, it can also fall very, very quickly. Nas down 2.2%, Chris. That's a big move.
That's a big move. Yeah, I'm just staring at the chart here. Go to the 15-minute, compress my last few weeks of trading. Look, the previous high at 600, we're well below it. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't get back above, and maybe that's the dip. But honestly, I kind of like this election gap. We came back and found it. That, to me, is in play for this potentially to be, a bit of a bear flag, selling. It's going to be hard to climb back to 605 by Friday. It can happen, but I don't see PCE being something the market's going to get excited about. So, yeah, honestly, I think, Nick, you and I are probably close to doing the same thing. It's like, find some stocks you like, find some indexes you like, find some ETFs you like, set your levels that you want, set some chart alarms, and if you got cash ready, I think there's times to take some trades. So be aware, be alert. Honestly, through Christmas, New Year's, I may be a little bit more active than I thought if I'm taking some trades, but a lot of them are already pending. I posted in the chat, MSTR, dollar cost average level got filled. RSP, dollar cost average level got filled. And I told Nick on Discord that my NVIDIA trade might still get me a ratio spread. I've got a ratio spread in where I actually own some shares this Friday of NVIDIA at 125. I'm okay with that. I'll sell the premium. That saved me from forcing another trade. But if we end up coming to the downside, the trades that are working very, very nicely is I have a hedge on MES. I have a hedge on MNQ. These are all, trading to the bear side. I have a bear put spread on SPY. I also have some long puts if we get like a vol event. I've got plenty of trades that pay me really, really well on SPY. I've got a hedge on the Q. That's a bear put spread. And I also have some bear trap trades on all my Mag 7s. So to the downside, my hedges are working out nicely. They look better today. Obviously, there's a big kind of gamma move to the downside. Option prices changing very quickly. My protective levels, like collars on stocks that I own, right? I sell a covered call and buy a put for protection. Those are also looking pretty good. So again, it's not like this is not discussed. Like, we knew that a correction could be happening. Is this a correction? Sure. How nasty does this get?
It's a good start. It's a good start. You're talking about such an insane year this year that the market had some. You talked about this, Chris, earlier in the week. Market has plenty of room to just sell off and still end out on a remarkable
and be fine.
year.
And every financial advisor can say, Mr. and Mrs. Smith that never pay attention to their markets, but yet Mr. and Mrs. Smith, you're up, 22% for the year. Congratulations, what a great year. And meanwhile, they don't realize that they were up 30%, and they just got an 8% haircut unknowingly.
Right.
But that's the thing, is like passive investors, like, is today going to matter for most people? I don't know. They see it red in the market, and maybe they spot check their accounts. They're like, holy crap, but probably not. Most of it's like,
Yeah.
where am I at for the rest of the year? Where did I start this year? Where am I at for the end of the year? That's where most people are at. Look,
Chris, I might
this is
get
good.
saved on my my covered call on Tesla. I did not expect this to happen. I sold 420 out of the money calls way back here. Market ripped every day for the last month. And there's a small possibility, this is out till December 27th. So if the market continues to digest some of this, pulls back a little bit more, I might actually get to keep my Tesla shares and the gains. I mean, this would be great. I have a bunch of things here. Chris and I were talking just off air or on Discord. I've got some strangles put on some stocks that I like. I wouldn't mind if the market continues to pull back. Also, I never in my life would have thought I would be celebrating a down 3K day, but I'm only down 3K, which is a 0.29% move in my account, which I will take any day of the week when you've gotten S&P down 1.7, NAS down 2.5. I am cash heavy, so in a weird way, I'm losing money and happy about it right now.
Dude. That's great. I just did the numbers on mine. I'm down 0.96%, Nick.
All right, that's good. See,
I'll take
that's what you, for everybody listening, when the market's going up every day and you feel like, oh, well, I'm up 0.3%, the NAS is up 0.9, that is really frustrating on the way up, but it is a lifesaver on the way down. If the market pulls back, diversification and cash in the portfolio means market's down a lot more than you are, theoretically, and hopefully as long as you are spread out decently and have some cash on the sidelines. I'm very cash heavy right now. Chris and I talked about that earlier. I'm ready to build into this dip if it happens, but in no hurry either. I still think even at these levels, NAS has some room to pull back. S&P, we talked about narrowness in the market. We talked about, I mean, we kind of called that. I'm not going to lie. I didn't know that was what the Fed was going to say, but we pretty much exactly talked about what the Fed did. Committee points to not too many rate cuts, and Powell one-upped what I thought he was going to say. I thought he was going to say, yeah, inflation's, we're significantly restrictive. That was one thing he said. After cutting rates, he said we're significantly restrictive where we are. We don't see, basically, he said we're good where we are. Market didn't really like that. Also, market did not like hearing commentary on the tariffs. Last time around, when asked about tariffs, Powell kind of dodged the question entirely. This time around, he was a little bit more vocal on, we're mapping things out. We're watching things. We're a little bit, it being in their mindset is going to impact their votes. It's going to impact their decisions. And him acknowledging that, I thought was really interesting. He also acknowledged the potential uptick in inflation if they cut rates, the same stuff as always. But if you noticed, Chris, very little about jobs market. Let's focus. I bet you if you took a transcript of that conversation and heat seeked the word like inflation versus heat seeked the word jobs data or some variation of jobs, he was way more focused on inflation. There was not a lot of commentary on jobs, which is exactly what we were talking about prior to the meeting. Is the focus is on inflation. It's no longer this kind of, we're in the middle, we're good where we're at, everything's good, we're going to watch both numbers. It was way more focused on inflation this time.
Yeah, I honestly, he was a little loose with commentary. I mean, I thought he let a lot more fly than I expected. I thought he'd be very tight to not really disrupt the boat and let this market just kind of digest whatever it is. Narrow concentration, market can't do anything but go up. Look, man, I think this is a great day for being ready for things to come. It obviously can get a little bit messier and uglier. I'm probably going to be proactive in protecting some of my hedges. My 608, it's a 608 by 590 is my SPY bear put spread, and then I have a 533 by 510 on the QQQ. So if we hit 590, I'm probably taking most of that profit. If we hit, let's say 515 or lower on the Qs, I'm probably taking some of that profit. My futures trades are in profit. So yeah, I mean, I'm not looking at this as, Nick, I got to hang on to these hedges all the way down. This is the crash. It's like, it doesn't seem like a crash to me. What comes in play, in my opinion, is, look, we had an election gap and there's a lot of structure right in there. I could see this market, testing. I'd be a little bit more concerned if we took out the pre-election low, but if we came all the way back down to this level here and tested it, maybe even filled it, but don't take it out. Look, we're just finding the 100 moving average. And we're doing it maybe fast, but look, man, how are we for the end of the year? As far as gains go, let's say that we get down
exceptional.
to, I'll put 580 on there. I'll say if we're at 580. Okay, so for the end of the year, going into January of this year, there was our little start right there, and we end at, let's say we end at 580. The market ends on a terrible note, and we get all the way back down to 580 or so. We're still up 21.5% on the S&P. We could still cling to 20+% gains. I'm wondering if 25%, that's never happened in the history of the market, if that's debunked this year, because it was gold and SPY. If they've never both performed at 25% gains for the year, and I'm pretty sure both of those are now in jeopardy of doing that. So everything's down, man.
Did you know we do a live trading show Monday through Friday with guests from all over the world? To get notified when we go live, click the bell button next to the subscribe button, or check in at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We have helpful, free content in the description below and on our website, a1trading.com. Thanks for watching today's video, and we'll see you tomorrow.